Miss Hendricks, what is it like for you to come over here to this vigil, to this spot where your son played so much basketball and spent so many happy hours?
It gives me a sense of comfort. I feel like I'm close to him for some reason. That's why I will come here whatever time of the day, whatever time of the night, because I feel very, very close to him right here.
And what have these last several weeks been like since you lost him for you?
It's been like hell, living hell, especially after midnight. I find myself trying to find him. I would leave my home 2 in the morning, outside trying to find him. I still knock the door before I enter his room. I can't sleep. It's my stomach ache. I have cramps. It's terrible. It's a really, really horrible feeling. It's a living hell. It's like suicidal without being dead.
You were telling me that you and Brandon were really, really close. Tell me about that.
We are very, very close. He's my booby. He's my best friend. He's my companion. I do nothing without him. He's just everything to me. You know, I will call him every day and tell him how much I love him. I will make this dinner even if I'm at work, so he will have dinner. And I will always remind him that, you know better, so always do better. You always have to set an example. And he just made me proud. I couldn't be more proud of anyone else. He was an awesome child, and I would do it all over again. He's truly, truly my best friend. Truly my best friend.
And how did you find out that night that something horrible had happened?
A friend of his mother called me and told me that my son got shot, and I can't even explain the way I felt. It's something that I just don't even want to remember that night. It's hell, it's a nightmare, because I can't believe that was my son. I'm still in doubt that that's Brandon, a fall child, not him. Not him. My son is like one of the best kids. He's the greatest. He's an awesome child, and that shouldn't happen to him.
And then so did they call you to the hospital? Did you go to the hospital?
When I got the news, I didn't know which hospital he was until she found out, and I went there, and then I spoke to the detectives, I spoke to the doctors, and I felt like I felt it in my uterus. I couldn't believe it, and then I saw him, and I still don't believe that was him. I still can't believe that's not Brandon. That's what I said. That's not Brandon. That couldn't be Brandon. Not him. He's not that child. He's not that child. There's nothing on earth or in heaven that will make me forgive that boy. Nothing. Nothing. That's between him and God, because he took away my soul. He took away my heart. He took away my life.
And you and him had plans for the future.
Yes, yes. My son told me in 4 years he's going to retire me because I worked too hard. He had planned to go to college, be someone very important in the community. My son had a big dream. My son, all his life, he was looking forward to be 18, to go away for school, to be able to help me, take care of me. We work as a team, and this boy cut that from me. This boy cut my son's generation life, his bloodline. This boy took away everything. He took away my boy, my precious booby.
And you called him Booby, that was the nickname?
Yes.
How did he get that nickname?
I saw him at birth, and he was fat, he was juicy, and he was Booby.
And what's the worst part? Because you and Brandon lived by yourselves.
Yes.
Together in your apartment.
Yes.
Here in the Morrisania
Yes.
Air Rights houses.
Yes.
What's the worst part of it now for you being in that same apartment and just knowing he's not going to walk through that door ever again?
That's the worst part, knowing he will never walk through that door again. Knowing I will never see that smile, I will never hear that voice. Knowing he's not there. He's not here. But that boy is here. My booby's not here. He's not.
And did you and Brandon have little rituals or like certain meals, special meals or things like that you would make for him?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
He likes chicken wings, he likes macaroni and cheese, and I will make a massive amount to serve him for a couple of days, and that's just it. I'll do anything for my son. I do his laundry, I make his meal, I clean up. That's my son. That's my precious son who had a future. He had a future, a bright future.
What do you think about somebody that could just take a gun and take that all away? Pick up a gun, shoot it.
That's a monster. That's a monster. That's someone without a heart. That's a bad person, a really bad person.
And do you think that in terms of the detectives and the NYPD catching him so fast, what do you think about that?
I think that was awesome. They really, really did a good job. They promised they would, and they did. And I'm so proud of them for keeping their word. And I'm here for them. And we just got to protect. We just got to work with the police department. We got to. We know someone out there doing something bad. It's not snitching. It's helping them. And we got to do better.
Did you ever think you would be touched by this gun violence? Because Brandon was such a good boy.
No, I didn't have any reason to. But now, I can't stop.
And you do it in his name?
In Brandon Hendricks Ellison, B. Diddy, name, yes.
And then, what is this going to, how is losing him at such a young age going to change your life now?
In my heart, I know that there are kids that need help. There are parents that need help. And if this is the way I can do it, so be it.
And then in terms of, you told me that, you shared with me, and thank you for sharing that with me, that at night, at midnight especially, you start to feel a certain kind of way.
Yes.
And you can't sleep.
And I can't sleep. And my pastor told me that maybe because he died after midnight. So that's when my soul, my spirit is looking for him. Yes. It's hard to sleep. I have to see daylight before I feel comfortable.
And we're almost done. And what's been the worst part of this for you?
Not having my son, not seeing him.
Have you been able to go into his room?
Yes, and I constantly knock the door before I enter. I still knock his door before I enter because I respect my son so much. I respect him so much that there are things that I find myself calling him. I sleep with his pillows. That's my baby, that's my booty. That's all I have, my son.
And what do you say to any of these people that are out there now with these guns that are being so reckless?
Think about someone else. Think about your own kids. Close your eyes. Imagine that was your child laying there. How would you feel? You got to stop what you're doing because it's going to touch home, and you don't want that. You don't want that.
And is that why you're participating in so many of these anti-gun marches and anti-gun rallies?
Yes, yes. We got to stop this gun thing. We don't make gun here in New York City. We don't make bullets. Bullet has no name. We got to do better.
And just, what do you want people to know about what you're going through that none of us can even imagine right now, in your heart, emotionally, as a mother and as a woman?
Suicidal. It's suicidal. Without the action. It's horrible. No one should go through this. No one should feel it. No one should feel this. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's unexplainable.
Do you wake up sometimes and you feel like, oh, maybe it was a dream, but it was...
I still think it's a dream. Not my boy. My boy was too precious. Too valuable. Yes.
And what do you want people to remember about your booby?
That he loves everyone. He wants the best for everyone. He was against violence. He was a good person. Someone that will encourage kids. He was a good person in the community. He was a good person for society. And he loves everyone. And he respects everyone.
And he was on his way to school, right?
He was on his way to college, yes.
I think I'm good. Pardon me?